9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
1, 2.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Fractured Flickers, a program which has come to occupy a permanent place in the hearts and minds of all Americans, along with Benedict Arnold and the Johnstown Flood. We're ready with our first flicker of the evening, and if you don't mind, we'll get right to it. For one thing, it will give our picture a feeling of immediacy and spontaneity, and for another thing, the studio is a bit warm, and they spoil so easily. So here we go with Fractured Flickers, the gorgonzola of showbiz.
Ladies and gentlemen, what you are about to see is the life story of a giant among men. As this chronicle unfolds, we issue this challenge. We ask you to guess, who is this man? You may have seen him just this morning and not known he was there. But let us go back to happier times, when this man was but a child, a mistreated child. Leaving home, he went into business, founding the Kiddie Car Cab Company. In the few precious moments he had to himself, when he wasn't running the cab company, he was running the table. By now, you should have a fair idea of who this kid was. But let us continue. At the age of 13, he became a sword swallower, but with little success. The motivating factor in his life, the inspiration that was to drive him to mediocrity, was his childhood sweetheart, the beautiful Bubbles Lamar, who, if you'll remember, won last week's big contest on this very same program, and will probably win next week, too. A natural athlete. He turned to music, composing the Underwear Symphony, the Pool Cue Concerto. Oh, where has my clarinet gone? And 70 sick trombones, which knocked the critics dead. Expelled, he established the Cantonese Good Humor Company, specializing in frozen ramaki, chicken fried rice on a stick, and Navy grog. By now, I am sure that more than half of you know who this man is. But for the other half, let us continue. A sportsman without equal, he loved big game fishing and would shoot barracudas on the slightest provocation. And for the final clue, today he is president of the largest alcoholic beverage company in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the big question. Who is this man? We haven't the slightest idea. How's that grab you?
Just a brief word before our next flicker. In reference to your letter, Mrs. J.B. of Bryn Mawr, Pennsylvania, you're wrong. The Our Gang comedies were not funny pictures about the mafia.
Tonight, Fractured Flickers salutes a city of uncluttered boulevards and sunny backyards. A city of chic, fashion-conscious women. A city whose doors are always open to visitors. Who treats strangers as it does its very own. New York.
That wonderful, wonderful town.
This program is brought to you by Playtux, makers of Playtux Living Socks, and by DuPont, manufacturers of DuPont Miracle Wash and Wear fabrics. Remember the name DuPont. Wetter things for wetter living through chemistry.
Yes, New York, island of charm. Unlike most large cities where humanity is tossed in the garbage can, New York is a roomy, uncrowded metropolis where people live relaxed, unhurried lives in an atmosphere of harmony. The average New Yorker is prosperous, friendly, ambitious, and generous to a fault.
Give me that.
And he's immaculate, too. Yes, New Yorkers are proud of their town, an attitude reflected in its sparkling clean thoroughfares. Modern rapid transit systems make it easy to get around the city. Underground subways travel uptown and down, while crosstown transit, ordinarily a sticky problem, has been solved with typical New York ingenuity. And there's the famous Long Island Railroad, which never lets its customers down. Evenings, New Yorkers retire to spacious night spots. Here, graceful sophisticates dance away their cares and woes to the accompaniment of soothing music.
Whoopee!
Next day, they return to the routine refreshed. And New Yorkers are inordinately fond of their police force. A disciplined, highly organized body of lawmen, never at cross purposes. They struggle single-handedly and against overwhelming odds to combat crime. Here at the Police Academy, officers are trained in the arts of advanced patrol duty, undercover work, the art of self-defense. The final result is a unique rapport between officer and citizen. But New York, with its tall, stately buildings, its plush hotels and swank Fifth Avenue shops, is a natural mecca for tourists. They can be seen almost anywhere, strolling about, taking in the views, rooftop dancing, or simply relaxing at the hotel. And there's so much to see in New York. For instance, roomy Central Park. Here, people gather in a friendly way to commune with nature and spend a few quiet moments away from the hustle and bustle of city life. There are myriad cultural attractions, such as the renowned off-Broadway theaters, gathering places of the intelligentsia, where amid settings of great splendor, dramas of social significance are presented. At the Metropolitan Opera House, immortal works are performed with dignity and restraint in the grand manner of European opera. Or tourists may visit the Museum of Natural History. Here the exhibits are so real, they actually seem to bring the past to life. The Metropolitan Museum, Mecca of the art student, is world-renowned for its statuary, lifelike works with something to offer even the most jaundiced museum goer. Time-honored tapestries are displayed as well, and the museum staff delights in taking visitors aside to discuss the merits of these works, moments of cultural enlightenment enjoyed by all.
Good show.
And so New York, home for the homeless, spacious, peaceful, friendly, and restful metropolis, where togetherness is a tradition. We of Fractured Flickers join all loyal New Yorkers in saying,
Give it back to the Indians.
who needed pale face?
The sponsor of our next commercial is a firm believer in the old Chinese proverb that one picture is worth 1,000 words. So he's going to give you both.
Hey, kids, are you sick and tired of itty-bitty model toys like this one here that are made so cheap and flimsy? Oh, sure, they may work for a couple of times, but just as you think you're all set to have some fun, what happens? Nothing. Do you feel sore when you follow complicated instructions and the thing still won't go? Sure you do. Then strike up the band. For here's Destructo's full-scale, do-it-yourself tank. No more worry about losing teensy-weensy parts. All Destructo's toys can be repaired by using standard military equipment. Think of the fun you'll have the first time you take your Destructo tank out on the street. Destructo goes everywhere. If it can't climb over, it goes through. Watch your neighborhood set up and take notice when they see this latest innovation in kiddie fun coming down the block. You can set any task for the Destructo full-scale tank and be sure it'll do the job. And the next time you play chicken with the gang, you can be sure you're gonna win. Yes, sir, everybody gets excited about the things a Destructo can do, but that's only half the fun. As soon as you show them your Destructo, you can bet every other kid on the block is bound to get one. Then, all you need is a few politicians and generals, some military music, a small incident, and you too can play the international fun game, World War III.
Ladies and gentlemen, like all other giant American enterprises, Fractured Flickers is greatly concerned with its public image, the general picture that comes to people's minds when they hear the words Fractured Flickers. Unfortunately, our last image, as we get it from our research staff, is that of a half-witted old lady going through her souvenirs in a trunk in the attic. Now, in an effort to change that image somewhat, we've invited to be with us this evening a young lady who is the very embodiment of freshness and vigor, a rising young actress, and deservedly so, whom you've seen notably in a number of pictures, such as Summer Magic and Young Lovers, Miss Deborah Walley.
Thank you, Mr. Conway.
If you don't mind, would you call me Hansel?
Hansel?
Yes, and I'll call you Debbie. It sets a more youthful tone for our interview.
Interview? We're just going to sit here and talk?
Well, I don't dance much anymore, Debbie.
Well, I thought we were going to see some of those new movies you've been showing.
No. First we go... New movies?
Oh, yes, you know, like Birth of a Nation, Covered Wagon, East Lynne.
No, wait. Those aren't new pictures, Debbie.
Oh, well, they're new to me. All those exciting new stars like Theda Bara and Elmo Lincoln.
Billy Dove.
Oh, Billy Dove, she's boss.
Boss.
Tough.
Tough.
Well, you know, the best.
Well, yes. You mean that to your generation, these are all new pictures?
Well, we've never seen them before.
Well, don't you think that the films themselves look a little scratched and beaten?
Oh, yes, but that gives them that real-life documentary look.
Miss Walley.
I thought you were going to call me Debbie.
No, I've changed my mind. Miss Walley, what do your friends consider to be old pictures?
Oh, things like, Jailhouse Rock, Ben-Hur, the first Gidget picture.
And the older our pictures are, the newer they see. Why, this is wonderful. It's the new image we've been looking for. Fractured Flickers, the program that brings new, fresh, unknown talent to the screen. Who knows? I might become to be known as the star maker.
You know, I only have one complaint about this program.
Oh, what's that?
Well, I don't think the pictures need all that talking.
No dialogue?
Well, why not, piano playing along with them?
Now, you may be right, Miss Walley. I think you may have started a new wave, or a ripple at any rate. You've given us a new lease on life. I can hardly wait to see our next report from... Oh, already? Well, that was fast, wasn't it? Yes, here it is, the first report on the new Fractured Flickers image, which is a half-witted old lady going through her souvenirs in a trunk in the attic. Debbie, your image hasn't changed a bit.
I know, but you feel better, don't you, Hansel?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I do.
Good night, Star Maker.
Oh, just call me Twinkle.
Everyone knows of the great Tilton hotel chain. But have you any idea of what goes on in the mind of a Tilton hotel doorman?
That's it, Merle. I quit. I'm handing in my doorman's whistle. I've worked here at the Tilton Hotel for 5 years, right? Helped thousands to enter the hotel, right? Picked up everything and carried it in. Right, Merle? You know I've been a perfect doorman. Even when Zsa Zsa arrived with her group and all that luggage and left only a 25-cent tip.
But Ned, what will he say? Mr. Tilton, our boss, what'll he say?
He'll say, go through their bags and see if they got anything of value.
Phone books, bricks, towels from DEBORAH. Not even a razor. Oh, rats.
Mr. Tilton will say, let the drink hostess get 'em smashed by breakfast time and give 'em music with dinner to help run up their Tilton Hotel cleaning bills. Right, Ned boy? He'll say, give 'em a really dry martini and then watch their faces for laughs when they see the check. He'll say, slip your customers a Mickey and then charge 'em 15% entertainment tax when they think they've seen the June Taylor dancers. He'll say, stage a fight between a cobra and a chicken in the lobby to help give the place a little class. Yes, Conrad Tilton is a corker, Merle, but that's not what's bugging me. It's not even those cheap legionnaires who carry their own bags up. Nor those no-tip finks that buy their own bottles and drink in their rooms. And it's not that strong-breath chef. And you know, Merle, he never really has understood the meaning of light soup. And it's not that every dish on the menu isn't a smash, or that the barber shop is just a cheap cover-up, or that the hotel pool lets anyone in these days.
Then, Ned boy, what is it that's making you resign? Has Liz been acting up in the beauty shop again?
No.
Then I've got it, Ned. It must be these silly tight pants.
That's right, Merle.
I've just been glancing at some excerpts from a newspaper review of Fractured Flickers, which our producer gave to me. I'd like to pass them along, if I may. Winston Carstairs of the Dubuque Herald says, ... scintillating comedy, ... I enjoyed, ... every minute of it. Well, that must have been quite a review. Do you have the original there, please? Oh, thank you. Oh, if you're looking for scintillating comedy here, forget it. There was nothing about the program I enjoyed. Every minute of it was appalling. Why couldn't I quit while I was ahead?
Ladies and gentlemen, speaking for the United States Army, General Woody DeWitt.
The most important thing in a young man's career is his youth. Remember, you are only young once, but if you do it right, once is enough. Let me show what Army life would do for you. Here you see Camp Pimpleton, located on the outskirts of Acme, Kansas. The men stationed at Camp Pimpleton live in modern sanitary barracks. Other buildings include the USO, where you can relax and enjoy yourself in pleasant surroundings. Here you see WAC Corporal Molly Perkins, camp hostess. Young men away from home and mother for the first time can come to Molly for assistance, guidance, and a good laugh or two. Here you see a DI or drill instructor instructing a new recruit in the manly art of self-defense. An Army nurse is on hand at all times to lend assistance should your DI become too GI. let me familiarize you with induction procedures. You have made the important decision. You have left your wife and children for a military career. First, you are given a thorough physical. This man was accepted immediately. Following that, you are given a GI haircut by men who have achieved perfection in the tonsorial arts in such places as Guadalcanal, Okinawa, Tarawa, and Boomdiay. You then receive a hearty breakfast. Here, alongside your fellow soldiers, all candidates for officers' training school, you eat your fill of what you want, all you want, the way you want, if you're fast enough. There is wide opportunity in the United States Army. Suppose after years of basic training, you decide to transfer to the cavalry. This branch of the service offers opportunities to see the world. Mystic China, Gay Paris, exotic Hollywood Park. Career opportunities are unlimited. Experience that will enable you to clean up in later life. In closing, I should like to urge you young men of America to join the United States Army. Let it make a man out of you.
This film will not be shown to our armed forces overseas.
As you know, on this program, we poke fun at just about everybody and everything. And it's always a revelation to me to find out what a marvelous sense of humor most of our victims have. For instance, here's a letter we got from silent film star Milton Sills. And he says that after seeing our portrayal of him as a yogurt tester, he's made a small wax image of me and he's going to stick pins into it. Isn't that priceless? I'll have to be with you after our next flicker. I've suddenly developed a splitting headache.
It's time once again for you to match wits with Sherman Oaks, ace detective. In this, the 13th in a series of half-hour minute mysteries. And now, minute mystery number 14. The case of the baboon's back. The troubles started the day the big circus came to town. The main attraction was the Flying Linguinis, Italy's answer to Burt Lancaster and Nick Cravat. Their specialty was jumping all over the place. But one night, due to a lover's quarrel, Charlie Linguini, while doing a 1.5 Janet Gaynor, was thrown out of the act. The Linguinis continued the act without him. But Charlie Linguini, disguised as Sherman Oaks himself, took revenge upon his former family, picking them off one at a time. From an anonymous letter, the real Sherman Oaks learned that he was being impersonated. He was on the killer's trail immediately. But this was the master detective's supreme test, for it was like trying to catch himself. As you can see, here we have Oaks, and here we have Charlie Linguini. Or is this Charlie? Or is that Oaks? Well, one of them is obviously setting a trap for the other. No matter, for in the end, with a well-placed shot, one of them got the other. Now, can you do what we have been unable to do? Did Oaks get Charlie, or vice versa? Here are the clues. A calendar doing time. The crown jewels. Paladin. A fireproof. Mickey cats. A bug. A flying linguini. A garter snake. My hometown. And now here are the suspects. A man locked in a small room. Fritz. Peter Rabbit. The Hardy family. Tippecanoe. And Tyler, too. And a dirty rat. And now the challenge. You have 60 seconds to solve this mystery. Time's up. If you said she did it, you're wrong. It was him.
One, two.
this is Hans Conried saying good night for Fractured Flickers and hoping you'll be with us again next week. You'd better be. 3 absences and one of our field representatives takes away your television set.